From the Easy Go Studios, KLAW Lawton Fort Sill. Another hour of Oklahoma's best country online at KLAW.com. A taste of country station.
It's now time for the J Burke Home Show on KLAW 101. For the next 30 minutes, you'll hear information that will save you money around your house. With your hosts, Eric Sherem and Jay Burke.
And good morning, Southwest Oklahoma, here in the great state of Oklahoma, Lawton Fort Sill, and downtown studios here with Town Square Media, KLAW 101, and the J Burke Home Show. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing good this morning.
Summer's been good to you?
It's been great.
Actually, weather-wise, it's actually been probably the best summer in a while because, you go back to the 4-year drought. You go back to, remember there was a time that we had 60 days of straight 100 degrees, and last night, it was a little bit cooler. This whole week has been cooler. And August, to say that we're not in the hundreds, I know, and I'm not talking your language because heat and air guys say, oh, no, we need this to be 100 degrees, But it has been a pretty good summer. I've enjoyed the weather, especially with a little bit of spots of rain here and there. And we see that from time to time. So it's been cooler. And if we can start fall mode right now, in middle of August, I will be one happy camper.
I think everybody would be. It got really hot there for a few weeks, but we've really been blessed this summer with a lot of moisture and being able to say it. We're usually by now we're completely brown. There's not a thing that's green, and you're watering every single moment just to keep what you have alive. So it's been a different summer for Southwest Oklahoma. It's been way different. We had a couple weeks there where we got pretty hot in the hundreds, up to 105, 106 some days, and what killed us was the humidity level and the dew point. Made everybody feel like they couldn't even breathe. So it was pretty rough there for a few weeks. But I always tell people, though, somebody asked me the other day, said, well, Jay, I think we're through with summer. Okay. We live in Southwest Oklahoma. It could snow tomorrow, but I promise you it could be 105 the following day. So just get ready. So if you don't like it, just stay around because I promise it'll change. But we're not through with summer yet. So we are still prepped and running full speed ahead with trying to get as many people through the rebate programs as we can.
Well, and we're going to talk about that because the rebate program, and I was talking to you briefly about before starting the show about we talked about the urgency of getting you in and so we can get you taken care of, and we're going to go over some of those details again. But I found it interesting that they want a daily report from you of how many you've turned in. So that gets a little scary thinking, okay, the money's starting to get a little tighter. Now, they won't tell you how much they have got left because, the thing is, all of these entries from, people across the state are putting in, and it could be like tomorrow they could say, oh, okay, that's it. Program's done until next year. So see you in the wintertime.
Yeah, and when it stops, it won't come back until January, February. And our biggest concern is that it'll be a different program. It won't be the exact same things that we have now, which are some unlimited amounts on ductwork and things like that. So we're able to get a lot more. There's no limits on how much money you can get if you have a home that has quite a bit of ductwork in it and some other rebates. Our fear is, and my fear is, that they'll cut the rebates in half, and next year instead of $5,000, maybe it'll be a $2,500 cap on the rebates, and so that would just damage everybody because most people, the average rebate is between $3,000 and $3,500. That's the average instant rebate that you get from PSO, and so they've called us and said, okay, every single day, Jay, we want you to tell, as you get them and you sell them, you turn them in right now to make sure we can get them in the program. And so everyone I've talked to has said, yes, let's do it right now. I don't want to take a chance on losing that $3,800.
Right.
That's just
free money.
That's just a lot of money to do, to fix my house the right way and to make it right. So, and one of the things is we have to get it tested. So there's some things that have to happen by that third party tester. And so it's not hey, we just snap our fingers and everything happens instantly. So it's usually that day or the next day we get the tester out there. So we want to make sure that they're finally catching up with the test. The day that we started the program back July 15th, we turned over roughly 30 houses to them on the same day. And so they have been struggling just to keep up with the houses that we gave them from them. And so we are just now getting to the point where we are starting to breathe just a little bit because we had so many at the very beginning. And so if you're thinking of doing it, if you're thinking that this is something that you've been thinking about and I'm going to wait till fall till it cools off and then I'll have it done, don't wait. let's get, even if you want to wait a couple of weeks or a couple of months to get the job done, let us get it tested now so that they can allocate that money and set it aside for your home. That way, even if the money runs out, the money's set aside for your home.
Right.
And so you're already pre-approved, and you're already, the PSO's already said, okay, that $3,500 goes to Joe's home, and it's set aside. You won't lose it. Even if the money runs out, that money is set aside. You're guaranteed that money is there. And so that's really the key, is for us to get in, come up with a plan, get you tested, get the money allocated for you. And then if you want to wait 30, 40 days to get the actual job done, when it does cool off and everybody, feels better about having the AC off for a couple of days. Now, we give you temporaries. We're not going to leave you sitting in the house sweltering. We give you temporary upright units that go to the windows. So we give you temporary air conditioning, so you're not going to die while we're installing your new system. But with that all said, please, if you are considering, and I know I heard a couple people from our last show called in this last week and said, I heard on the show that it could be getting close, so I need you to come test me. And we tested them and got them the money and got it allocated. So now some call us and say, we're totally out. The air conditioner totally quit. The compressor's out. What can we do? And we go out and we try to be, I try to make sure our guys think, if it was your family and you totally had no air, you'd want to be bumped to the top of the line if you can get there, and so that's what we try to do. Get to those that are totally out first. And then those that are just upgrading, we try to let them know, hey, listen, if you're just upgrading, we're going to put you on the list, and we'll get to you just as soon as we can once we get through this hot spell of people doing that. But I'm glad it's cooled off a little bit. I think those that have had some issues, and some of them, their units are running, but not running very well. And so it's not killing them right now. I went into a house the other day, had some small children, and they'd been out since June because they felt like they couldn't afford to do heating and air. The guy said, I just
don't have the money.
I don't have it. I don't have the money. And I know I've had other people out here talking to me, and I don't know what to do. And
can't go to the bank.
Yeah. I went to the bank, and it's, they just, the interest rate's crazy, and they want me to refinance my home and have, all kinds of stuff done. And it's going to cost me thousands just to get it so I could get a loan. And I want you to know that we use loan companies out there that are reputable. We've been using for a few years now, that can give you up to 120 months to pay back the loan. It's an HVAC loan. They put the unit itself up as collateral, so it's nothing put against your home. There's no liens against your home or your car or your kids or anything else. I mean, it's truly an HVAC loan. It starts at about 4.9% for 120 months. They give you the first 90 days no payment. So a lot of people I'd say 90% of our customers finance, because,
it's good to know. Because who's got that extra cash lying around to to take care of a system like that.
Yeah, and it's an unexpected expense. Usually, you always think it'll make it another year.
Yeah.
If I
one more summer, if I can just have it one more month. Yeah.
Well, and how many of us have children like my daughter going to Southwestern and to college and thinking, okay, I've got to buy school clothes, I've got to take care of tuition, I've got to take care of books, I've got all these things I got to take care of, and the last thing I want to do is change my heating and air unit,
right,
or my hot water tank, or my, whatever it is that we have to change, and so, but heating and air is not a, something that you can just say, oh well, I'll forgo that. And like I said, there was a group that I went to last week that I've never felt so sorry for, because the guy thought he didn't have a way to get financing. He felt, and he didn't know what to do, and he's military, and he's living here, and bought the house, and they've been out since June and using box fans put in the windows to circulate air through the house. And I got there, and all the children were asleep, and he said, just, Mr. Burke, they're all asleep today. And I thought, okay. And it was 94 degrees inside the home. And he said, we just can't. And he said June was livable, July got very, very bad, and August has been horrible. And he said, we just can't, my kids can't, during the day, they can't even get up to play. It's so hot. He said, so they play at night. They get up in the middle of the night. Their whole schedules are turned around.
Wow.
And so we got him financed. We got his new system put in. And as he called me the other day, and really in tears, saying, you made a huge difference. My family thanks you. We can finally get back to living again before school starts. And just in time, we got it in just last week, and so we can help you. We're not going to do we're going to do everything we can to get you financed and to make it where you're back comfortable inside your own home.
I want to back up just briefly and talk about this program. And I know that you and I know it, and you've educated me with this program about that everybody's going to say a catch. You throw a big number out there as far as rebates, and they're going to say, there's nothing such as free money. Why is PSO going to do it? These utility companies don't look like they're going to help me out of the goodness and gracious of their heart. When you don't pay, of course, like any other service, they're going to, shut that off, and well so. But so why are they doing this? Well, there is a purpose that helps the state, helps them, because we are using so much energy. And go ahead and explain why these rebates are there. So it's not really, okay, where's the fine print? How is this rebate going to come and catch back up with me?
Yeah. Well, basically, the Corporation Commission sets the utility rates in Oklahoma. And so they got to the point where the grid is full. There's only so much power available from the power plants that we have. And so basically, the Corporation Commission came to the utility providers all across the state and said, we need to drop the utility rates, utility usage, 25% across the state.
Or they have to build a new plant.
Or we got to build a new plant.
Which is like into the millions.
In the billions.
Billions,
with the B.
With the B, yeah.
And it's huge money. And so all of a sudden they said, we need your help. Instead of in the next 5 to 10 years having to try to come up with billions, give us another 5 or 10 on top of that to try to produce the money. Because as you well know, the Corporation Commission is great, but the money comes from us that pay utility rates throughout the state. So we're going to pay for it one way or the other. So they gave money to the utility companies to come up with programs like Power Forward program that says, and the reason they call it Power Forward is because they're basically paying it forward. They're going to give
Makes
that.
Sense,
yeah, they're going to give that so that it increases that years. And their goal was to save, if they couldn't save you a minimum of 25% in utilities, you didn't qualify for the program. We're saving on average between 40 and 45% on every
a huge
home.
Difference.
Yeah, and it makes the payment. Some of the payments that people will tell me, hey, and we have a payment sheet and it shows you, we can tell you all that up front. And it says, and there's no silly fees and stuff that goes with the financing, but sometimes the payment's $100 and they save $75 in utilities. I went to the lady's house the other day. She said, Jay, my electric bill is $500 a month in the summertime. I'm total electric. We fixed it. She's paying $120 a month now.
Wow.
I said,
now we're going to do that extra $400 extra month.
I told her, I said, go on vacation on the utility company. I mean, why pay it if you don't have to pay it?
That's great.
And so anyway, so you're right. There's a reason for it, and they gave the money.
And most people are very skeptical when you say free money, and okay, Jay, I've heard that, but I'm going to be like the millennials. They're the most skeptical generation. This ain't right. I was told that nothing's free, and that's true. There's a lot to that, but there's a reason why these rebates are for, and it's going to help them not have to spend the billions to do another power grid, so save on that little time. So that makes sense, and I appreciate that, because I think you got to over communicate that, because most people are just going to hear rebates. Okay, no, there is no rebates. There's a hidden fee, hidden charge somewhere, and I'm going to get stung.
Or they're going to make me buy the most expensive unit that they make on the market to be able to qualify for the rebates, and that is absolutely not the case.
Okay,
and so we can make it where it's good for everyone. And so once again, if you are considering that this may be an option
hurry.
for you,
limited time offer.
Call Jay. I will come out to your house this next week. We'll figure it out, and let's just chat about it. Nothing says you have to do it. Their estimates are totally 100% free. I come out, I sit down with you, we chat at the dining room table about what we need, to figure out about your house, and let's see if you fit the program. We've had people before that didn't fit the program. That just we couldn't get the money for them because their house was so tight and their ductwork was good, and we got them a little bit, but it wasn't nothing like the $3,000 range. And then there were some that didn't qualify at all because their unit was so new. It wasn't that old, but they'd had a problem with it. And so, but let me come out. I'll personally come out myself and take a look at it. And I love to meet my customers. I love to meet the people that I go out and sit down and chat with at the table and get to know so many people, so many wonderful people that live in our community. And we go to Duncan, we did a house the other day in Carnegie, and I mean we're all over, and Indiahoma, we've got them everywhere. So if you're in our listening area, for sure, there's a pretty good chance we service you and service your area, and I'd be happy to come take a look.
All right, we have a very special guest with us. Love it. This is the J&J Burke Home Show, so even though we talk about what you have to offer, we also have special guests from time to time to kind of tell us about ways you can save around your home. We've kind of run the gamut, and we won't stop here either. Whether we're talking about insurance, we had security not too long ago. We're talking about electricians. We got to get a plumber here, and we'll eventually get that. We had Rains TV. We had Comanche Home Center, and part of that Comanche Home Center family with Carpet One. We've also got Hard Rock Surfaces. So I was excited because we're going to talk a little about granite countertops today.
Yes, absolutely. And we have a special guest, Retta Hollander. And so thank you so much for coming in on your Saturday morning.
Hi.
We basically, I know Hard Rock Services has been around for a while, but I asked this before the show, Hard Rock Services has been in the business for 18 years. And that to me I just felt like
surprised.
I really was.
Right.
I really, what makes me realize how old I'm getting is what it realized. But I remember when it was just a thought, and so it's part of the Comanche Home Center umbrella family, because I think Phil's kind of involved in everything from one end of the spectrum to the other as far as home repair and home improvements. So how long have you actually, Retta, have you been with Hard Rock Services?
I've been there a little over 3 years. We have just recently moved within the last 3 months. We're right there with Brady's Design now. So it works out really, really well. We've got the Brady's ladies, so we can incorporate everything together with your granite, your tile, as much or as little as you want. And the Brady's ladies are really great about helping us out with all that.
Well, that sounds scary to me, because I go in there and you guys I end up buying everything. So that's not good for Jay. But I better not go. No, they're great people, and everybody that we've had in has had great insight into what they do and how easy it is to get these decisions made. So I guess the first question for me is I have the old countertops, the old laminate countertops that, and especially even in my rent houses, that have, they're chipped, they don't look as good. I know it's cheaper, but sometimes there's some rent houses that I have that I want granite in. And is granite that expensive that I just can't afford to put granite in a home?
Absolutely not. You can. Granite is doable. You're going to have different levels. Granite's going to start at a level 1. It's going to be more expensive than your Formica, but it's also going to last. It's a natural rock. It's not going to peel off and wear out. It's going to be there. So that being said, you want to make sure you get something you like, because you're going to be looking at it every day, because it's not going to wear out on you.
That's great. And I know when I built my house, I didn't go with granite. I did there's another surface. It's a hard surface, but I forget what they call it.
Solid surface or Corian?
Corian, I think is what I did. But the only thing I don't like about it is it scratches some. I had some issues with, I don't know. I just wished I had done something different. And is it that hard to take that out and put granite back in? And is it going to tear my whole kitchen up? I mean, that was my worry. My backsplash is going to come out. What am I going to do? I'm going to do everything. And you guys do all that, right? Pull my stove, pull my everything.
We do all that. Yeah, we can move everything out. We can put everything back in. We don't connect your plumbing. You don't want us to flood your house. My guys are great granite guys. That's what they do, but they don't do the plumbing part. But if you need me to, I can get somebody to come out. I've got plumbers. I've got electricians. We can do as much or as little as you want us to do.
Absolutely great. So,
but you're not limited also to granite. You and I were talking about there's other.
Absolutely not.
Tell us a little bit about what also Hard Rock Services offer.
We can do quartz. We can do marble. I had a customer a year ago that came to me and they said they were interested in soapstone. I didn't know anything at all about soapstone, so I started researching it. It's a wonderful product. We put soapstone in their house, and she absolutely loves it. It's
all right. What is soapstone? I've never heard of it.
Soapstone is it's a natural rock. It's not going to have the color variations that you have in granite. It's going to be darker, but it has a mineral oil that you put on it. It's virtually impossible to ever stain.
Wow.
But you are going to have a little bit more maintenance in the first year. You have to apply mineral oils to it and everything. So there's little differences between all of those, whether it's marble, quartz, granite. if we get a chance to look at what you've got, what your lifestyle is, we can figure out which one is going to be the best for you.
I want to compliment them just for a brief moment, because we've heard this with Brady's. We've heard this Comanche Home Center as well. Notice that a customer come up and said, do you offer this? Now, I've been to places that said, nope, we don't offer it. And you have to hightail it right out the door, because that's the end of the conversation. She goes, and she just said, well, I don't really know much about it, but let me do some research, and finds it, helps the customer, and then lo and behold. And you like that kind of service. It's not like you've been to those places. Hey, do you have that? No, and they don't even look. No, we don't have that part. I don't even look for it. I said, well, did you even check the inventory list? I mean, it may be in the back storeroom. I mean, could you give me a try? So I appreciate that. And I know that that's what you guys do is into helping people. Now, I'm not saying that you can solve every problem or that you've got everything, but at least you're going to give it a try. I like that.
We definitely try. We want our customers to be happy in the end. I try to tell people this is going to be in your home every morning when you walk in and sit down and drink your cup of coffee and set it on your countertop. You want to look at it and say, I love this. My kitchen is beautiful. So we do everything we can to try to help you get to that point.
I think it's wonderful too. So let me ask this. All right. I put granite in my house. It's going to be difficult to take care of.
Absolutely not. Granite is really, really low maintenance. Basic, mild dish soap and water is all you need to clean it with. It's not going to harbor bacteria the way Formica or wood or anything like that is going to. If you get something, say you spill some milk and it dries on there, you can take a flat razor blade, scrape it off. That's not going to hurt your granite at all. If, heaven forbid, you do something, you have somebody working on a light up above it and they drop a wrench and they actually chip a piece of your countertop, we can come in, we can crush some rock, we can mix it with some adhesives, we can patch it. It's fixable, it's durable, there's virtually no maintenance to it. You want to make sure it's sealed, but that's really a simple process. Pour a little water on it. It should be like when you have a fresh coat of wax on your car. As long as that water beads, then you know if you spilled red wine or cherry Kool-Aid on it, it's going to bead and give you the opportunity to clean it up so it doesn't stain.
Oh, that's great. I mean, you hear about so many different things. You hear about concrete countertops. I mean, I went to a house the other day and the guy had concrete. I went into an estimate and I thought, wow, it's cool. But my biggest fear was, I know what concrete usually does. It soaks up everything in the world. And the lady was telling me, I love my countertops, but I spilled something on this countertop and I can't get it out. And I've done everything I can do that I can think of to get it out. I actually did tell her to call you guys. Oh. So good luck with all that. But I'm sorry if I sent the wrong way. But I said, call Hard Rock Services and see what they think. They may have a solution to your problem, and then maybe there may not be a solution to this. I don't know.
I do not know that much about the concrete countertops. Definitely something I would have to check into and see what I could come up with. I know we've got people around town who do those, so it's some information we could definitely get for them. But like if it's the granite, things like that, we have different pumices we can put on there to draw a stain out. But honestly, we don't have an issue with that. I don't think I've had 4 people in the last 3 years that have had an issue with a stain in their granite. It just normally doesn't happen.
And I guess the big question is, the question of the day, is granite affordable? Can I afford to put granite in my house? Because I think that
they started in high-end homes, and when they get granite, you automatically think that it's out of my price range all the time.
Absolutely. I've had 2 customers yesterday that came in. One was doing 2 little bathrooms, and a lot of times I have remnants where I've already cut into a slab. We can do those very inexpensively. My only recommendation, have a ballpark on what size. Either call me and let us come out and measure it first, or have, if it's going to be 5 foot long. It's really hard to come out and look at my remnants and say, I have a bathroom, but I don't have any idea how big it is. So,
so you don't know what you need. Yeah.
So, right. If you call us, let us come out and measure it. It doesn't cost you anything for us to come out. We can measure. We can give you free estimates. But we have lots and lots to choose from that's really, really going to be economical.
And so you're not going to tell me when I get there, like some heating and air guys do, that I need to change everything just because So if I just want to do one room, if I just want to do one bathroom, and I'm redoing a bathroom, and I want to put granite in that bathroom, that's a job you'll do. You don't have to try to talk me into doing my kitchen, my bathrooms, my windowsills, my,
No, we will do as much or as little as you want. I have a customer that was in Altus that already had his granite. He didn't get it from us. He found out about us later. He was looking to do his windowsills. He couldn't find anybody to do it because it was a small job. He worked with us when the next time we went to Altus. We redid the windowsills in his house. So there is no, we're not a big box store. It's not you're going to spend $5,000 with us or we're not going to talk to you. You may spend $150 with us. You're still going to be just as important as any other customer.
I know I put a new faucet in my kitchen, and I thought I was smart, and I was going to add a new little, soap dispenser thing because I have a solid surface too. So I thought, I'm just going to and then I got there and I thought, there's no hole for that. Jay, there's no hole there. Put that in. So I called Hard Rock. They came out. I'm honest. They came out the same day.
Wow.
Drilled the hole down for me. Put the hole in the counter, and even actually installed my little soap dispenser, and we're gone with a matter of moments. Seemed like, and I thought, okay, these are the people I want to work with because they came out to help me out. And I said, and this was the truth. I said, how much do I owe you? And I was thinking, it's going to be a couple $100 to drill that silly hole. And his exact words were, call us when you're ready to replace the countertops because we're not going to charge you today. That meant a lot to me. And they didn't have to do that. I've never bought countertops for that house. I thought, that wasn't a countertop they'd put in. So I was very, very impressed. And that's why we wanted to have you come in. But one of my big questions is, all right, I want countertops. I want new countertops, but it's going to take you 3 or 4 months to get my countertops ready to go be put in my house. What's the average turnaround time?
Okay, right now we're at one of our busiest times of the year. We are 3 to 4 weeks out for install. But if you call me, we can have somebody out there within a day or two, get your estimate, get measurements, get your estimate, so you know exactly what you're looking at. So you know if it's an expense you want to go through right now or if it's something you want to save up for. Like I said, I had 2 people yesterday that as soon as they looked at their estimate, they said, well, this isn't near as much as I thought it was going to be.
And that's always a good thing, though, right?
I told them I could always add to it but they were happy with that price.
And you do have financing available so people can get financed to get
Absolutely. Being part of Comanche Home Center and everything, we have the same program where we can work through Comanche and we can get that financing taken care of if you need to.
Absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much for being here this morning. And we'll probably have you come back because I'm going to think of 100 more questions.
Yeah.
And if anyone out there is listening and have questions about their countertops and the solid surface, please get in touch with us. We'll get ready to come back here and tell us more about Hard Rock Surfaces.
Yeah, give us your phone number in closing there for you.
Absolutely. Phone number's 580-357-1348. You can also reach me email hardrocksurfaces@gmail.com. Happy to answer any kind of questions I can for you.
And you're headed right to work right after this.
Absolutely.
So she'll be there. So you can ask her right now.
I may come by after we leave,
All right.
Okay.
Well, Jay, that's the show for this week, the J&J Burke Home Show, each and every Saturday morning from 9 until 9:30. Still looking for employment opportunities quickly?
Yeah, we've hired quite a few people in the last few days, but we are still looking for motivated employees that have great attitude. Don't leave another place not happy and think you can come there. We'll make you happy. We need you to be happy before you show up as well. So come with the right attitude. We are still taking applications. Come to 2012 Northwest Hoover. Fill an application out in person, please. Please do not call and expect us to take an application over the phone or talk to Jay because I don't do that. And so please come in and fill out the application. Bring in your resume. We'd be happy to set up a time with you to set up an interview.
That's the J&J Burke Home Show for this week. We'll be back next Saturday from 9 until 9:30. So till then, enjoy your weekend. Just to enjoy what's left. And I know we're back to school, but enjoy some of this last of this weather of summer months.
Absolutely. See you next week.
Hi, I'm Jay Burke from J&J Burke Heating and Air. At J&J Burke, we've combined the rebates from PSO and CenterPoint Energy to save you up to $7,000 on the most energy-efficient systems available. J&J Burke is a 2014 and 2015 PSO Partner of the Year for the entire state of Oklahoma. We're still the best at getting you the rebates. So call us at 1-800-AIR-REPAIR or go to jjburkair.com and learn how you can save thousands today. I'm Jay Burke, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.